Okay, FSR is a real simple application which help you to automate and secure all your internal and external reporting.
Okay.
Today's company when a company is creating an annual report, in the annual report you have the strategy of the company, all the narrative information of the company, the industry activities and so forth, and you have a second half of the annual report, which is mostly the financial part. And so those financial information usually comes from the consolidation department team. So when the consolidation department team is providing their Excel spreadsheet, the figures of the company, the P&L, the balance sheet and so forth, and all the notes, they are correct because they spend a lot of money in those kind of solutions like controller, magnitude X cartesies, or HFM. So the figures are correct, but when you land that in the annual report or 10K for the United States, you may have risk because of what? Because it is mainly manually. They are using intensively Word, Microsoft Word and Excel copy pasting, and when you restate the figures you have to recopy paste, or the worst case is to rekey information. So you have lots of risk. You rekey data from one year to another. For the rollover you have to re-prepare the report to rekey new figures, so it takes times. You have sometimes the risk of insider leaks. So the security of the information, for example, for a listed company, the net result will be published and official in one day during the publication date, but it will be confidential until that day. So you may have insider leaks because of security. So FSR application provide security, native security, and users can see only what they want and when they have to see that documents. So we provide also a full audit trail for that kind of annual report, so we know who modified what and when, and provide compliant checklist inside. Last year we met a French bank and in order to show them our solution, and they said we have an internal process, we are doing well, so it was perfect. Okay, and so there were delay of 4 weeks for the annual report. So the person in charge of the communication changed position. This is one of the examples that we had. I met last week a customer who were doing the annual report in electricity industry, and they were having different Word documents, because they have many contributors. And so they fragmented the Word document into different sections, different Word document, and at the end they reassembled the Word document by copy pasting. So at the end they were really in a rush, and they realized after the publishing that they misplaced a paragraph in the wrong section. So it's still in the annual report. So they would like to try to avoid that kind of errors. So they are looking after our solution very carefully. We have other customer issues. In the annual report, they have tables, and they have in the country a huge growth in the revenue income statement by countries, and they made a mistake in the narrative part. And the narratives say the opposite side. They have a decrease of the revenue. So there was no consistency between the tables, the figures, and the P&L income statement and the narrative. So with Clarity, with FSR, we can provide this kind of security with our business rule, and so you can make sure that when one figure change in your table, they would be reflected automatically in the narrative part. Extended business rule language is coming from the United States. It's intensively used by the SEC from the United States. So all the American companies who are listed in New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, they have to provide the 10K, 10Q. Okay? Even the foreign company, they have to provide the 20F. So since 2 years, they started to ask for those companies to provide an XBRL file. What is this XBRL file? The XBRL file is it's an XML file. It's an electronic format file containing the chart of account provided by the SEC, a common chart of account provided by the SEC that you can download. This is what we call a taxonomy. Those taxonomy, you have to file this taxonomy with your accounts kind of mapping. This is what we call tagging. You have to tag each element of the taxonomy, the chart of account, with your accounts, personal account of your company. So, as they have to provide a document, a Word document Edgarized, which is containing the narrative part and all the figures, they have to provide them the XBRL. So FSR helps you to create the Word document that you have to provide, the 10K, 10Q, and we take advantage of all those information because all the information needed in the XBRL file are in the Word document. So we just need to tag the Word document for the narrative part and the figures for the taxonomy. And so when all those information are mapped, tagged, we just need to press the button XBRL generate instance. So the instance means the file that you want to generate, and that's it. And the great advantage is that we just need to tag once. So the first time we have to tag the accounts, and the next year there will be an automatic rollover. So you don't have to re-tag all those elements. Only if there is an extension of the taxonomy or new elements in the taxonomy, you have to re-tag those new elements only. So the maintenance is very easy. And FSR was born in 2007, and now we have more than 450 customers. So that proves you the high customer adoption of the solution. Okay, for the implementation, it's quite very easy. There is no comparison in terms of duration for CPM implementation or ERP implementation. When you implement FSR, you already know what you want because you already produced an annual report or an internal reporting. So the needs are well defined. The figures which are inside the annual report are already located. Okay, you can you find this data easily because they exist. So you don't have to retrieve information. So in terms of project, the duration are very quick. Just for an example, for 100 pages, it will take a median of 20 days. It could be more or less. It's depending only of the data source that you might have. So if it is a very sophisticated, complex database, it may take more time to retrieve those data. But if it is the Excel file that you are using with your current application, it's very easy, straightforward.